or disc problems. Now, if you have back pain and lumbar spine pain, and it is because of a disc problem or other issues around the lumbar spine, you might have spoken to other people who have the same problem, and you might have realized that usually most of the people have disc issues in the lower lumbar spine. Yes, there are people who have multi-level disc issues, but most of the times their disc problems start in the lower lumbar spine. So let's look at where exactly is this area which is more prone to disc problems and other injuries, and also why does it happen in this area? Okay, so if you have back pain and you specifically have disc problems in the lumbar spine, you probably want to listen to this video, because once you have the know-how of what and why about your pain, you can manage it better. All right. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and joint pains. I do this with simple exercises, easy lifestyle changes, some simple, low toxic, natural products that I use myself for these problems, and of course simple tips, tricks, and hacks that you can implement into your existing schedule without having to take out an extra chunk of time to do all this. All right, so let's get into the topic for today, which is which part of your lumbar spine is most prone to disc problems or injuries. Now, if you look at a baby when we are born, our whole spine is C-shaped, right? So you don't have the curves of the spine except that big C-shaped curve that our spine is in. Now, what happens is as the baby starts to roll onto their stomach and starts to lift this neck up, they start to develop this curve in the neck, which is basically concave towards the back. So basically, it's this is the front and this is the back of the neck, right? And then the C-shaped curve stays like this in your thoracic spine. So you have a concavity forwards where your lungs, heart, and all the other organs, etc., they are sitting there. When you move down to the lumbar spine, again, when the babies start to sit and walk, they develop this curvature in the lumbar spine. They're not C-shaped. The whole spine is not C-shaped anymore. They develop this lumbar curve, which is basically if you're looking at somebody from the side, this is the front of the person and this is the back of the person. Now, if you look at the lower part of the lumbar spine, this is the area where you have most disc issues. Now, you won't find so many people, like if you look at the population in general, you won't find so many people with disc problems in their thoracic spine. It is possible, of course, but not so many as in the lumbar spine, because thoracic is very well it has like a scaffolding, right? So it's got your ribs, it's a very stable area. But in the lumbar spine, there is a lot of movement at the L4, L5 level. Now, if you look at the curve of the lumbar spine, if you look at the 5 lumbar vertebrae, the L4, 5 is the transition zone. So actually from L3 to L5 is the transition zone. That is the maximum concavity is present there, right? So if this is your lumbar spine, this is the area where the maximum curvature of the lumbar spine is present. This puts this L3 to L5 area at a biomechanical disadvantage. Basically, what it means is most of the stresses tend to accumulate in L3 to L5 area of your lumbar spine. So when you have disc problems or disc bulges, disc herniation, they tend to be more in this area. Now, if you are not sure what is a disc bulge or disc herniation, you can go to YouTube and you can have a look at my channel. I've done quite a few videos on this topic. And if you cannot find my channel, you can just go to YouTube, type my name, Swati Prakash, followed by disc bulge, and the videos will pop up for you. However, let me just tell you briefly, our vertebrae are stacked on top of each other in the spine, and between every two vertebrae, there is a gelatinous material known as a disc. When this disc moves out of its place in from in between those two vertebrae. It moves out in any particular direction. It is known as a disc herniation. Well, there are different stages, so it could be just a little bulge to completely out of its place, and it can give rise to other problems such as nerve issues and back pain and stiff muscles and so on. I will not cover all that in this video because that's beyond the scope of this video. So you can have a look on YouTube, if on my channel, if you want to know more. So yeah, so basically your L3 to L5 area is the one which has the maximum convexity, which is at a biomechanical disadvantage, which is think of if there is, say, a building instead of being straight and it is a bit curved. Obviously, this area is going to be very unstable at the maximum curvature. Same as with your spine. If you, interestingly, if you look at the cervical spine, in the cervical spine as well, you have the maximum convexity at C 4, 5, 6. So where your C4 to C6 vertebra, that is in your cervical spine, you have 7 vertebrae. So between the fourth and the sixth cervical vertebra, that is the area which is maximal convexity, and that is again an area in the cervical spine or the neck where you can get most disc issues. Alrighty, so that's just a little tidbit for you there in case you have lumbar pain and you're wondering why does it start in one area compared to the other. So if you are looking for simple solutions to manage your back pain, I have done a free training on this topic, and I go through a simple anatomy of the spine, and then what are the reasons you can have lumbar pain or low back pain or back pain, and then I move on to how can you manage these. Not the medication part, that's for your doctor to do, but how can you manage these low back pains or back pains on your own, and how can you do some simple exercises, when do you use a lumbar belt, etc., etc. There are lots of stuff that I cover in that free training. It lives in my community. It's a free community. I will leave a link in the description of this video for you to join the community if you're interested. Once you join the community, you have lifelong access to this training on simple solutions to manage your back pain. There are lots of other trainings there on posture, neck pain. We are presently doing one on cervicogenic headaches. So if you're watching this video in the future, all these trainings actually live in my community. So you can join there. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link to join the community is in my bio. Alrighty, I hope that was useful for you. And if you have any questions, any comments, please drop them below the video and I'll take it